Okay, so here we are. We got the load test setup completed. So now all we got to do is hit run for this particular system to get it started. So let's go ahead and do that. And you'll see how we start getting the timer. And how the generator starts running. And you guys can just observe what's happening. As you can see, we now have all the ATSs in emergency, and it's going to wait 1 minute in order for this load test to commence, or this countdown to commence rather. So you guys can go ahead and observe that. Okay, I initiated the load test for the second system, and you can see how we get percent kW for the generator itself. But you'll also see that in this case we're not getting the ATS EM to transfer over. So I'm going to have the site manually transfer the ATS over. You can do this anytime that for whatever reason an ATS doesn't transfer over. We can go ahead and manually transfer it over just so that we can collect the data for it, and then transfer it back once the test is complete. So but you can see it's metering, and we currently have 2 load tests going on for 2 different systems at the same time. So here we are on the third system. We currently have Gen 1 system and Gen 2 system doing their test. So now I'm going to go ahead and initiate the Gen 3 system test. And again, we go through this setup here. Go monthly load test. We want the Gen 3 group. I'm going to go ahead and leave everything as is. Hit next. I'm going to leave that the same as well, the report name. Hit next. I'm going to email it to myself once it's done. Hit next. There's nothing to do here, so hit next. I'm good with that, so finish, and we're just going to go ahead and hit run. And there we go. Now we have the third generator on. And it looks like we're having problems with these 2 ATSs, ATS EC and ATS ER. So let's see. So yeah, again, whenever you have an issue like this, you can go ahead and manually transfer them over in order to get the data that you need, and then we can figure out, you can then, contact Blue Pillar to figure out what the problem is. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the site, gentleman that's on site, and he'll go ahead and just manually transfer them over. Okay. So again, you can see that um, the some of the ATS didn't transfer over. And what happens is if they don't transfer over, or they don't detect, it's not detected that they've been transferred over within about a 5 to 10 minute time frame, the Blue Pillar system will automatically abort the test. So here we see that the command was aborted, and then the ATS was it detected to be transferred back. So in this situation, usually what will happen is the site will just carry out their normal tests as they would without the Blue Pillar system. They'll just go ahead and do everything manually and not initiate the load test through the Blue Pillar system. Okay, and here we are on the generator 1 system. We see that the test has ended, the counter went to 0, and now um, this particular ATS-XR didn't transfer over during the test, so it looks like the site manually transferred it back to normal. So we're good on that. But even though the test has ended, and ATSs may have been sent the signal, to stop, the ATSs themselves have a retransfer delay, and that's just to prevent the ATSs from being transferred back and forth, you know, from 1 second to the next. So you see now the stop command to some of these ATSs already being sent, but what you'll see is that these ATSs will not necessarily transfer back to normal immediately, and that's just because of that retransfer delay. Once we stop sending that emergency or transfer to emergency signal, the ATS itself still has a delay. Many of them are 10 minutes, 15 minutes, some of them are 30 minutes. So what happens is, even after the test is complete, the stop signal has been sent, the ATS will still not transfer back until that delay has gone by. So that's one of the reasons why when we set up the system for you guys, one of the questions that the Blue Pillar project manager may ask is, what is your retransfer delays? And this is the reason why, to avoid having the test prolong itself for longer than it needs to be. So that's pretty much what happens is in instances like this one. But we can see that the counter has ended, and looks like everything's working out.